This is day 3 of my 100 days en plein air painting in oil, and it's pouring rain. So I will be painting from the vantage point of my garage, and I have no idea what I'm going to paint. Maybe my car. But this gives me a great opportunity to be really abstract, play with color, and deviate completely from reality. So we'll see what happens. And I do want to share with you a little kit. I'm testing out all the little kits that I've made over the past few years to be a portable painter. And this one I made from a cigar box. And I will show that to you now and share with you the way I think it will work. I did use it in the past a couple of times painting in dark pubs in oil. That was before I started with my dip pen and ink and watercolor. I haven't used it in maybe 15 years. So we'll see how it goes. This is my little cigar box. Maybe it wasn't a cigar box. I'm not sure what it was originally, but it's the size of a cigar box. And I got the idea for it when I saw a number of pochade kits created from cigar boxes. This is just the tin, the travel tin of terps that I have out for today. I've ordered a smaller one, not quite like this, but to carry my terps. Hopefully it will fit inside of this, but for today I'm going to use this. The little metal ones with the screw top that clip on, I'll show you. The last few I've purchased all leak. This kind of clip for my medium and my terps, and has a lid. I had one for about 30 years that was fantastic. It never leaked at all, but something happened to that, I don't remember. And I haven't been able to get a leak-proof one since. So here is my setup. I have extra little foam core so that when I close this, my palette doesn't fall up against the painting. What I've done here, I have a sheet of cardboard the size of a lid, and I've Velcroed it so that it can stay up there. And then I took a piece of canvas paper, which I don't really like using, but I had some. I have a whole pad of it, and I thought I would try it out. When I'm done with that, then I'll just take a piece of canvas, and I'll wrap it around the same way. So this stays in here, and this again is the support, so that when I close the lid, the end of painting, this holds my tools down so that they won't slip up against the wet painting. This is a mixing palette, piece of acrylic. I cut it right there so that I can put my finger in and get it up. This was my original palette for in here that I used, and I kept having to cut new ones. So I just made one out of acrylic. However, I needed that extra thickness in order to make this work. So I have it as an extra work surface or an extra mixing palette. This I've cut to keep my brushes. Now I'm using some watercolor brushes because they're shorter, and I cut off an oil paint brush. So these are the brushes. And these are just cheapo ones from Home Depot or Lowe's, and they may just be for scumbling. I don't know. They're not very stiff, but they're pretty crazy for maybe making weeds or things. I have a pair of pliers which I need in order to get some of the caps off. I forgot to put my matches in here because I need to heat up the cap first. And I do have a smaller pair of pliers that I'll put in here as soon as I find them again. And I have several small tubes of paint. Now today, I'm just going to use the paints, the small paints that I found. So I have some weird colors. I have magenta, I have rose madder genuine, olive green, which I can't remember when I used that, zinc white, what is this? Raw umber, Antwerp blue. My yellow is a zinc yellow hue, cobalt blue hue, and ultramarine. That's what I'm going to work with today. I also have this stick in here. I'm not sure what that's for. I think that's for scraping my name into a painting when I'm done. And I do have this little viewfinder, which I don't think I ever really used. That's just in here from before. And this is a more useful viewfinder where I can change the size. All right, now I also have strips. I cut strips of foam core here to support. There we go. I just made this today. All of this fits back inside. And I won't bring all of these large tubes with me next time. I won't bring these. So the little containers that I ordered today to put my terps in that are leak proof will fit in here also. That slips back like that. And I also have some clips downstairs that I will be rigging up to make sure that this panel, that the Velcro doesn't let loose and the wet painting fall down onto the mixing palette. That's what I forgot. These used to be tight enough that they held the box like that. So I will have to make something else that makes it so that it doesn't open up all the way. In the meantime, for today, I'll hold it like this. I've used the small brush to create some shapes, and I based them on windows. I have one neighbor where I live, and they're actually pretty close, and they're great friends, which is really wonderful. So I used their windows just for shapes. They aren't really where they're supposed to be. A little bit of a shape here for the roof, the drain pipe, of course, because I love drain pipes. This is our dumpster. This is my car, the ground, and now I'm just using that as the skeleton for what I'm going to be doing next. And I'm going to play with color and shapes. I'll be looking at the scene through my garage door, but I won't be trying to replicate it. In fact, I'm going to do my best to make this so that it's not obviously a car. I made it a little wonky and weirdly drawn. So I just want to look at the shapes, and I don't want to have all these wonderful shapes and then a car. I don't mind cars, I love cars, but that's not what I'm going for with this. I blocked in some color. I've already painted out the wheel, and I now have some motion going. You can see that the car is starting to disappear, but it's good. It was the foundation from which I'm starting to play now. And I want to share this with you as it's changing. I have no idea what it looks like to you, but it's starting to move and have depth and be playful, and it's really what I want. I just have to get rid of this part of the car now, but I don't quite know what to do with that yet. I'm sure I'll figure it out. I've gotten rid of my car, but I've included the 4 tires, even though I don't see 4 tires. I have the house. This doesn't make sense to me. That's just the pine needles and pollen on the driveway. My goal now is to pull this together with values and color. I definitely should have taken a photograph before I wiped it off the first time. So I've wiped it off 3 times. The sun came out, sun went away. I started getting really fatigued with the mess that I was making. And then I just scumbled it, wiped it off a few more times. And now I actually like this one. And this is what I set out to do. I wanted to change the way I thought about my painting. And I certainly have done that today.